Let's go to Parliament now. The Speaker, Awan Badbin, has directed government to put before the House for scrutiny the agreement for the acquisition of AirtelTigo. Government took over the company last year following serious financial challenges, which got some persons raising questions. Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Eslo Swekuful, is answering questions from the Ningo Pram MP Sam George about the deal. In answering the question, said the agreement is awaiting further inputs from the Attorney General before finalization. Here are excerpts of what transpired on the floor.
The Ministry for Communications and Digitalization oversees the telecom ICT sector in full compliance with the laws of the land and will complete all legal and constitutional processes by the end of this meeting of Parliament for the acquisition of AirtelTigo.
This article shall, with the necessary modification by Parliament, apply to an international business or economic transaction to which the government is a party as it applies to a loan. The Minister in her response says the Ministry will comply with the laws of the land by the end of this meeting of Parliament. However, the Daily Graphic of November 3rd, 2021 cites the Minister as announcing government's complete takeover of the company. So I want to find out from the Minister, did the Daily Graphic quote her wrongly, or is she coming to Parliament to ratify the acquisition or sale of the company to government after she has completed the transaction? In line with 1815, it should have been before the transaction, not after the transaction.
Mr. Speaker, the acquisition of telecommunications companies follows a process, and that process is ongoing. There are phases in that process, from the contract signing, regulatory approvals, and closing obligations that parties have to undertake, and then the legal and regulatory processes that have to be gone through. Contract is signed at a particular period, and that's what was announced. The other closing obligations are ongoing. And when we conclude all of that, part of it being, if on the advice of the Attorney General, that we need to comply with any provision of the law regarding the acquisition, it will be done in due course.
Some difficulty. Bharti Airtel has announced on the Indian Stock Exchange on the 27th of October 2020 and on the 16th of April 2021 that they have completed their sale to the government of Ghana on the Indian Stock Exchange, that the sale of AirtelTigo has been completed. Mr. Speaker, again, I quote a news reportage where the Minister is quoted as saying government paid $1 for the acquisition of AirtelTigo. And this is from UTV. And at the signing ceremony, this is what he said. Honorable Esla Owusu Ekufo signed on behalf of the government of Ghana, while Jatina Katarina Yunken van de Vreek, Timothy Pennington, Eric Nananipa, and Vish Ashiago signed on behalf of the seller entities. Mr. Speaker, there's been an offer, there's been an acceptance, a sale of the shares has been completed. The old shareholder has stated on the Indian Stock Exchange that they have disposed of their ownership of the company. At what point must the Minister come to Parliament for approval to engage in such an international transaction?
We are still in the closing obligations stage of this transaction. And so all the legal and constitutional processes will be completed on the advice of the Attorney General by the end of this meeting of Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
In the media after proceedings, Sam George accused the Minister of running away from accountability. According to the Deputy Ranking Member on the Communications Committee, the Minister is concealing vital information about the deal.
I have no suspicions. I only speak to facts, and the facts are simple. Bharti Airtel entered into an agreement. There was a signing ceremony where the Minister for Communications and Digitalization represented the government of Ghana. That document that was signed, I have been asking for, as a deputy ranking on the committee has been asking for a copy of that document for over a year. We haven't seen it. But on the basis of that document, Bharti Airtel has gone to India to tell their shareholders that they have sold the company. On the basis of that document, Bharti Airtel has withdrawn the CEO of the company that they appointed. On the basis of that document, government of Ghana has appointed a new CEO for the company. Your guess is as good as mine. What is in that document? So if the minister is telling us in parliament today that the sale has not been completed, I have not finished buying a car from you. Yet I'm driving the car, I have changed the engine, I have changed the color. Right now, if you go to DVLA, it is my name on the document, but they say I still haven't finished paying for the car. Well, you must be a very generous seller to hand over the whole company if it has not been completed. And I'm sure you all remember that last year, I had the back and forth in the media space with the minister over whether the true value of the company was $1 or not, because she said they bought it for $1. Those were her words, that government has acquired AirtelTigo for $1. Not me. That was the minister's words. So if you say you have acquired, and like the speaker pointed out, the minister is a senior lawyer, very seasoned lawyer. If you say you have acquired an asset, it means you have bought it. And in basic contract law, for a sale to be done, there has to be an offer, there has to be consideration, and there has to be an acceptance. All of that seems to be visible in here. There was an offer from Bharti Airtel, there was consideration of $1, as the minister told us, and there was acceptance. So if we are being told that it's not still been sold, like I said, one person is not being truthful. It's either Bharti Airtel to its shareholders on the Indian Stock Exchange, or our ministry is not being completely truthful with us.
The sector minister, however, refuted the claim. She spoke to the media, also in Parliament.
You still listen to this AirtelTigo matter. He came and announced to the whole world that government had bought AirtelTigo for $20 million when he was nowhere near the transaction, hadn't seen any document, and as a figment of his imagination, threw this out. You are still listening to what he's saying. I'm the one who signed the document. I said the contract price was $1. He said no, he's never had any such thing before. So let him make whatever allegations he wants to make. We are still focused and we're doing our work. At every stage of the way, I've been very open with the Ghanaian people and I've put full information out before you by any allegations made by anyone, well-meaning or ill-meaning. I don't know. Stay focused and we do our work. But please, when the honorable member comments, take it with a pinch of salt. He doesn't always get it right. Contract sum